how's that going? Like, how's the modeling? How's the modeling in Cape Town? We can't say in comparison to Kenya, but how's modeling like in Cape Town? How was your experience modeling in Cape Town?
Um,
Because we'll still come back to
yeah,
what you're doing like right now, what you studied,
yeah,
and how that and modeling you want to put them together to do.
integrate. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, my modeling experiences in Cape Town were obviously quite different.
Mhm.
But again, in terms of like the fashion industry,
Mm.
Cape Town is on a different level already.
Compared to Kenya,
Yeah,
are they better than us?
I wouldn't say better, but more established.
Mm.
Yeah.
Politically correct.
Diplomacy.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of what you're talking about.
International relations.
Oh, okay. Now I get you. Now I understand.
Yeah. So, but I mean, everything was on a larger scale. So my first fashion show that I worked for was actually something that my university had collaborated with.
Yeah.
And I also got scouted for that, actually, which was quite, it was like a pleasant surprise, you know. It helped me just like get settled in a little better. But yeah, it's a lot different for sure. But I think I could see Kenya heading that way.
Really?
Yeah. But
sure.
on like a more...
Have you seen the hashtag Pay Models KE?
Yes, but like the fact that now people are talking about it. Like when I
Yeah.
left to go to Cape Town, no one spoke about it. It was still an issue.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
never brought up.
Mhm.
But now that people are speaking about it, that means there's potential to address the issue and to make a change, right? And just the whole, like, people are really trying to, you know, collaborate with Kenyan brands and, like, really bring awareness to, like, people trying to you know, like, employ Kenyans and use Kenyan materials and that's where Cape Town, well, South Africa is right now. But it's one of those things, like, the first country industrializes and people learn. So you're not copying the same mistakes and like you're not going
That
through the
other
entire
people
process.
have gone through, yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's how I say I see Kenya going that way. I mean, yeah, which is quite exciting.
When it comes to just modeling in general, what do you prefer more? Are you comfortable doing like the runway? Is there something that to you is like a no, like, yo, I wouldn't do this, I know I'm a model, but these are against my morals? Maybe you posing like on bikini, you giving like bikini.
Yeah, I mean, it's not per se
Or you're
against
good
my
with-
morals. It's not against my morals, but it's also just what, you know, you're comfortable with, but also I think it's important to build like a brand image, even when it comes to like your personality and like what you're bringing to the table. So when I think of my brand image, if it doesn't fall into that box, it's something that I might not be very inclined to do.
What's your brand image? Yeah, we just want to throw words here and not expect me to ask. What's your brand image like?
Like, I think my brand image would be like intellect intertwined with beauty.
Intellect, definitely.
So intellect and beauty put together, because most people think like they're like exclusive to a large extent, but they aren't. So like smart fashion, smart beauty, you know, if that makes sense.
I don't know. What's that? What's that?
So the one thing that I've gotten really into is sustainable living, but then how to do that like with being in touch with the fashion industry. So you can have both at the same time. Most people think you can't really be sustainable if you're trying to be you know, fashionable and stylish.
And people will be like,
But you
she's
can.
boring.
But you can.
Can you? Oh, listen. Okay. Point noted. But are there like some people who like maybe like are role models to you that you've seen taking that route and they're successful at doing that, and that's where, like, you know, like even though it's not directly, that's where your mentorship is coming from?
Yes, but not directly. So I think there's like little bits and pieces from people that I've seen on Instagram or people that I've met that I pick up on. That's a tough one because, like I said, it's bits and pieces. So
Yeah.
it'll be like you could say something today, right? And then that just sticks.
Oh, so even me?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
just like everything around you, like people around you, what you're doing on Instagram, whatever, Facebook, or just seeing people in general in like in person. So it's like bits and pieces, and then something happens and it just sticks, and then you're just like, okay, I haven't thought about that much.
Yeah.
And you start giving it thought, and you're like, actually, I could like integrate this, you know?
To this and this.
Exactly.
Okay, I get all that. I'm still trying to figure, like, because the way you said intellect and beauty, so I'm sure like you have lines where you wouldn't cross. Like, what if you're given like a scenario where, like, you know, we need two girls to be like all over each other, and this is what we're trying, you know, like those Calvin Klein, like
Yeah.
kind of like feel ads.
Yeah.
Would you do that, or
Um,
that's like, you know, that's not in line with what your brand identity is? What's a no for
It's-
you? Rap,
I
music,
mean-
music videos? Would you do music videos?
Yeah, maybe. Actually,
don't
maybe.
just say maybe.
Maybe I would.
You would?
If the opportunity arose.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
But
so my rapper
going back
friends,
to-
my upcoming rapper friends, send
But
your
going
proposals.
back to
Yeah.
your Calvin Klein question.
Yeah, like something like, because you know,
Probably-
like Kenya is super
Yeah.
reserved, right?
Yeah.
And I know like ASA, they go like all out. It's like
Yeah.
just a whole other different ball game when it comes to advertising. So what's a no for you? What wouldn't you do as a model?
So I'd probably not do that, just because, like, sensationalizing a sexuality is something that I just don't think is okay.
You
So
see where I'm
it's-
going? You see
yeah.
where this conversation
So
is
it's
going?
like,
Yeah,
you know,
'cause
it's the same thing when people are like, oh, like some of the health magazines have like this
Oh, yeah.
man and he's all like shirtless and sweaty.
objectifying men.
and then, exactly,
Objectifying men.
But then has like,
It's very wrong.
three ladies like on him, and you know, so that's like heterosexual completely. But then the same problems arise with like a homosexual ad, or you know, not a homosexual ad, but an ad that is depicting.
I was just about to
a
say like, I was just
homosexual.
about to say like, yo, what are you talking about? Because I'm trying to
Yeah.
understand what. Okay, like.
So yeah, so probably not. It's like how people, like, there's this whole new thing on like, if you're doing something for charity, try not to take pictures of it and post it, especially when
Oh.
there's like a power dynamic that's quite off. So it could be, most times obviously it's because of a privilege that one has and the other doesn't, and it's very evident in the picture, right? So it goes back to that, like, it's like, don't sensationalize poverty, or don't sensationalize like
So you don't
charity.
believe in that, the way people like take pictures when they're doing their donations, posing the kids. So, you know, like recently we
Yeah.
just had like the Turkana thing. I won't say any names, but you know, there's some celebrities who are like, you know, putting money together and everything, and they're taking pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think it clouds like the whole intent of what you're trying to do?
it's, for me, it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
So to an extent, it kind of really highlights these privileges, but at the same time, because of those privileges, you can make a difference. People want to hear what you're doing
Yeah.
and why you're doing it, and it can create awareness on a larger scale, right?
True.
But it still does sensationalize poverty.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a double-edged sword, and it's kind of difficult to know where to draw the line then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you draw that boundary? Because if you can't just not do anything because you're a celebrity.
Yeah,
That's
and you
worse,
cannot
actually.
not take pictures, because if taking pictures might make me
Is-
look like, oh, you're actually not just collecting money and then keeping it for yourself.
Exactly, and it makes other people want to get involved
Yeah.
in whatever way they can, if it's volunteering or donating, you know. So yeah,
Which you're not a
it's-
believer of, right?
It's no, I am a believer of donating and charities,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think if there's a way in which you can empower, so if there is, I mean, with Turkana,
Mm-hmm.
so donating is going to be a more short-term, solution, right? So if there is a way to empower,
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes, because that's a long-term solution. Obviously, you just have to assess the situation, right? So if it's like, if you're trying to help street children, I'd rather not give you that 100 bob or whatever.
You give them 100? You give them 100?
Why are you judging me?
You give them 100?
I'd rather not though. And
You
I'd
give them
rather
100, they're definitely going to buy drugs. You know that, right?
Exactly. And like
So you
with
give
the
them
whole,
like 10
with the
shillings.
whole,
10
like,
is not
renting
enough for
a
drugs.
child, you know, like the documentaries that have come out recently
Which ones?
with people renting a child for like begging and making them money. So the money
Oh,
actually
yeah, yeah,
goes
yeah.
back to like whoever's rented you
Oh, yeah, true. I've
or
seen that.
owns you. And so you'd rather just give food, or I mean, there's so many people that I know like that have like homes and have education programs,
Mhm.
and I think that just goes a longer way. And it's not that you have to, how do I put this correctly? It's not like you have to like have a lot of money to be able to do that. Like
I
you
know,
could just go
I know.
volunteer.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these children are like babies, so they don't even need you to sit there and like, you know, have this degree in something that you could like bring to the table. You just need to go play with them and spend some time with them and take care of them, babysit, you know.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
How do you stop talking after I've just put like a big fruit in my mouth? So, when it comes to just the same thing, since we're still talking about like modeling, huh?
Yeah.
Like modeling to you, I definitely get it's not about the money, it's just something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's not about money for you.
I mean, that's like the added benefits, right?
Yeah, it's like
So
a plus.
it's like the perk, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, like I want to try and integrate that with something that I know will make a difference, whether it's just like women empowerment or
And modeling,
what about modeling?
or what integrate what with what?
Exactly, like women empowerment with modeling, or
How's that gonna work?
or it can.
I want to
and-
know. I mean, I want to know.
Just
Cause like this is like a whole, and that's the thing. Cause even on Instagram and online, like you're entitled to create a new lane, which is
Yeah.
what I'm guessing that you're trying to
yeah.
do right now. Cause you just said you've realized like I can do. You said you've just realized that you can do the modeling, integrate it with intellect
To make a social
to make a social impact. Yeah, there you go. That was one sentence I was
Like
trying
a
to put together.
mouthful.
Yeah, but you see, like when somebody thinks about that, they just don't they wouldn't understand exactly like what you're trying to do.
Mhm.
So does this mean like your own fashion
I
line up
haven't-
ideas, concepts?
I haven't yet tapped into that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as a process. It's not like this one-time thing and it happens and done, right?
Mhm.
So it's a process, and it's something that needs to involve more people than just having like a fashion line.
Yeah.
So yeah, like currently, so recently I became the face of Canvas, right, for the new collection, Canvas
What's that?
Cosmetics.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes, and their launch
Okay,
is
okay.
tomorrow actually, which I'm super excited for.
Mhm.
But their new collection and what it represents, I can't give on too much until the launch, obviously. And what it represents, it's something that I actually believe in, and that's an example of like a brand that's using beauty, fashion to actually still make a statement.
Yeah.
And then there's so many other ones that have adopted like the whole sustainable
Oh my God.
living.
Your cake is gonna be ruined. Yeah.
You know, like it has like there's so many brands that are now trying to endorse sustainable fashion
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya as well. And I was following.
Can I ask a question before we proceed?
Go ahead.
Or should I let you? I'm always very hard
Like,
on interrupting. Yeah. No. But don't forget what you're saying, right?
Okay.
You said like just recently I noticed.
Okay.
Don't forget that, right?
Okay.
When you're saying how are you describing it? What fashion is possible?
Sustainable.
Su-
Sustainable.
Sustain. What do you mean by sustainable fashion? So that I don't get it confused with anything else.
So sustainable fashion is like using products that you have and you know you're not gonna run out, and you can maybe be planting them as you're using them, or you know what I mean, and use in most cases local
Like just local
crafts
materials and
yeah, so local
everything.
materials, local artsmen, or you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
tailors, or
Basically, is it basically
Um,
empowering local resources and local people?
yes, but at the same time it's sustainable, so you know you're not going to run out. It's not like I mean, it's not what you said when you thought it was disposable and not sustainable.
Yeah.
So it's like the exact opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you buy this thing and you're gonna wear it. It's gonna last you a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
It's not one of those T-shirts you buy, put it in the wash, and now it's like shrunk and you throw it,
Yeah.
and there's like dumping of.
I buy Fashion
material.
Nova. I buy Fashion Nova. Seems to be working well.
Okay. I'm just
Look
like,
at that
okay.
response. Look at that response. No, but yeah. So back to what you were saying. Like you said, like you've just realized that in Kenya. I told you not to forget your statement.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
no. So recently I was following the UN Environment Assembly.
What's this? Is this cheese?
It is the tricolade cake,
Okay.
and I think it's like mousse and cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to what we were saying.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's not even 10 a.m. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And they had like a whole section of it just dedicated to fashion and how the fashion industry can make an impact through being sustainable and how to achieve that. And I was following it on Instagram, and I thought that was amazing. It was wonderful,
Nice.
and it's a huge platform. And because of things like that, I'm like, Kenya's moving forward. Like it's happening, and the sooner you get on board, the better.
The better.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like other models who are trying to